Barcelona. They were 3-0 up, Jimmy Conrad. They were looking good. And then, as you said, Iago Aspas, Celta Vigo. My God, amazing scenes from Celta Vigo's perspective, but Barcelona broke down. By the way, injuries for Ansu Fati, Eric Garcia, Nico.
Ansu Fati's out 4 to 6 weeks. Ousmane Dembele, he's definitely a loser, maybe of the season. Dude, he played 5 minutes against Dinamo Kiev in the Champions League, and now he's hurt for a significant amount of time again. Like, what is going on with that dude?
Xavi has his work cut out for him.
He really does. He really does.
So what do you think? What happens now? I mean, Ansu Fati out for 4 weeks?
Yeah, that hurts them. He scored a tremendous first goal in this game that I think really speaks to his quality. You know, he scored midweek as well against Dinamo Kiev, who hadn't lost a game at home all season. So, you know, he's special. He's a special player. That's the best way to say it. But he's got to get healthy. Their young players have to get healthy. I'm talking about Pedri and now talking about Eric Garcia. You know, everybody, Ousmane Dembele, who they all have to get healthy for Xavi to really be able to build something of consequence. And so, yeah, it's a bit of heartbreak right now for Barcelona. Leaving the injuries aside, giving up a 3-goal lead is frankly unacceptable. That said, I do want to say for the record that one of my bets was Iago Aspas scoring anytime because the guy loves scoring against Barcelona.
You did. He scored twice. I keep telling people to listen to Jimmy. I told my wife, and she's like, "What are you talking?" I was like, "Just listen to Jimmy." And she's like, "Okay."
I don't hit all of them, but there are times where I'm like on fire, though. Yeah, this weekend you hit a lot.
Yeah. All right.
So I don't know. It's just like, are they a team that, like a Barcelona team, when I think about the past, going up 3-0, they would have done exactly in the past what Man City did against Man United.
Correct.
They get it. Game's done. 2-0, 3-0, over. They're just going to pass the ball and kill you to death, and you're going to get so tired chasing them you don't even want to play anymore.
It's almost like they knew that Celta Vigo was going to do this. They put it in their heads at halftime. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and Ter Stegen didn't look very good in this game. You know, he hasn't been as consistently good for a long time. We were comparing him or calling him one of the top goalkeepers in the world because he was saving Barcelona like game in and game out, and Oblak were like him, and then Neuer when he's healthy, obviously. Like, those are the guys they're thinking about. And now I feel like he's had a bit of a drop-off, but I guess you can only be shelled for so long before your head goes down.
Well, good for your Newcastle, right? Maybe it'll be a good story.
Yeah, maybe. But it's interesting. I didn't think the back line looked too sharp. It just I feel like Barcelona lacks that killer instinct, and I think teams know it. And I think Celta Vigo knows if we just get one, that could turn into 2, could turn into 3. And so I was not surprised that they gave up a 3-goal lead. I was actually more surprised that Atletico Madrid gave up their 2-goal lead in injury time to tie 3-3 when they're up over Valencia 3-1. Because I feel like Diego Simeone just has a team that knows better. Whereas Barcelona,
they're also in our losers of the weekend. Atleti is also part of that. Who else is in here as well? Manchester United, we said we'll come back to them. By the way, they were booed again at Old Trafford as well. 4 touches in Man City's box, etc. We talked about Manchester United earlier, but very quickly, what's going on? The international break, okay, press the reset button, but we know exactly what's going to happen if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer remains, no?
Yeah, I feel like a broken record because even though he does have that one result to kind of hang his hat on from time to time, like the 3-0 win over Spurs, and you're like, I just feel like that result was a bit of a mirage. It was a bit of a, one of those magic tricks that Ole was pulling because the back three, their team isn't set up for that. And they tried to pull it off against Atalanta and City. It didn't work. He switched to a back 4 in the second half against City. And they've gone as far as they can go with Ole. I think that's it.
That second goal, when they just allowed the ball to just creep in, it wasn't De Gea's fault. It was just Luke Shaw's just watching. Like, it's unbelievable, some of the things that are going on. I mean, I just don't know where to go. Juan, I don't know. City fan here. He enjoyed that. Of course you enjoy that. You're a City fan. You enjoy every weekend.
I would say that De Gea kind of had the performance that he did against Leicester. And Ole Gunnar said after the last Leicester game when they lost 4-2, when it was 2-2, Rashford scored to make it 2-2. You think they'd lock it down and set up shop? They gave up 2 more goals in the last 6 or 7 minutes to lose that 4-2. De Gea was their man of the match. He was so good in that game. He was man of the match. And he was standing on his head making crazy saves. Yes, he could have done better.
Which says a lot about
exactly.
That.
Exactly. So
all right.
I just think you have a lot of drop off from players, and maybe the guys that played throughout the summer with the Euros, England, Luke Shaw, Maguire just haven't looked as sharp. Lindelof and Bailly for me are still like not Manchester United players when you think about it. Like you want to see Vidic and Ferdinand. You got guys that just lock it down. And those guys aren't the ones, I think, that have that same type of presence. But I don't know, man. There's a lot to unpack there.
Well, listen, we have a lot to still keep going, and I want to keep it very brief here. But this is a very quick answer from this question, by the way. Have Manchester United regressed under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Jimmy Conrad?
No, because every time we think they've regressed, they have a big performance. I don't think they have. I think this is just as good as it's going to get, and that might be hard for fans to accept.
The best and worst thing is the ultimate fate for Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson gave you so much that everybody right now is trying to still get rid of that cloud, and it's not happening. So to your point, it's not necessarily regression. It's just flat. It's a flat line. Speaking of Manchester United, a former Manchester United manager, Jose Mourinho, Roma, your team in Serie A, Jimmy Conrad, last 7 games in Serie A, 2 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses. Here's a quote from Jose Mourinho. Desnars, do you have the quote for me to put up on the screen? Do I need to read the whole thing? It's a big one.
Yeah. Wait, I don't want you to just read it. Read it like Mourinho.
Okay.
I want your best acting skills here. Get after it.
Well, as a coach, the opinion I always have is that you need to impart a bit of ambition and motivation to the squad. You have, not just for the players, but for myself too. So saying that top 4 is a target to fight for us does not necessarily mean the squad is a top 4 squad. I never said that we're worthy of the top 4. But I will continue to say, up until the point that is mathematically impossible, that the top 4 is the target we're fighting for. But for a few reasons, we have finished 6 and 7 in the last few seasons. Well, the business we did this summer, in my opinion, and in the opinion of us internally, was business done reacting to events with the aim of strengthening the squad. Well, we had to go. I don't think this squad is better than last season. We lost experienced players and useful squad players. Thank you very much. And that's Mourinho.
I love it.
Talk to me about Roma. The honeymoon's over.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like I had mentioned before, I'm pretty sure in a previous podcast, where you just need someone in that locker room that can kind of cut through the BS of Mourinho. And he's going to say some things publicly, and you need some leaders to step up. Not only that, off the field and in the changing room, you need guys that are going to step up on the field. And I'm looking at it defensively. They just leak way too many goals, and goals that can be relatively. I mean, that must frustrate him the most. It's just like, why are we giving up these shitty goals? Why aren't we closing the ball down? I'm asking you to go another half yard to close the ball down. I'm having you drop off like a step so you can be in a better position to clear a ball out. That's so frustrating as a coach. And as someone that has some coaching experience, one of the things that I had the hardest time with, and this I'm talking about some of the players I coached in the 4th division here in this country, was that there was this lack of recognition to danger. Like this fire needs to be put out before it even gets started. And I feel like that's not happening enough. And maybe things were going too well to begin the season, that sometimes you get away from doing the little things that gave you that success in the first place because everything's going so great. But once you get away from doing those little things, doing the dirty work that's thankless and nobody really appreciates and you don't get a lot of credit for, and if enough players start to kind of lose that edge of doing that work, this is what you see. And especially on the defensive side of the ball, it's just too easy. Every time why is it that easy to score against players that should know better? And I think I understand where he's coming from, and I share his frustration. Now, I wish he would handle some of his post-game stuff a little bit better, but it wouldn't be Jose Mourinho if he's not throwing out some crap.
Well said, Jimmy Conrad. We have some new viewers, by the way. Make sure that you throw in some comments, questions, smash that like button. We love to hear from you. And the final losers of the weekend, Verona subs, Jimmy Conrad. Daniel Bessel subbed on in the 75th minute, sent off in the 88th. Nikola Kalinic subbed off in the 84th minute, sent off in the 90+3 minute. And then Napoli drew 1-0 against Verona. That's not a good way to impress your manager if you don't want to get sent off. Have you ever been sent off that quickly?
I got sent off in my last national team game. I was captain, and I got 2 yellows in 15 minutes, and I was out. This is my last one. Like, talk about going out in a blaze of glory.
I know, right?
I know. It was sad for a little while, but now I lean into it and I own it because it's kind of funny.
You have to own it. It's great.
Yeah.